Chào anh em nhá. Mình bình luận trận này. Hôm nay Sọp sẽ đối đầu với JDG Gaming. Mùa xuân 2020. Để chúng ta có thể đánh giá được thực lực của tem Sọp, liệu có thể một trong những đội tuyển có cạnh ở trong LPL. Trận đấy là một trận đáng xem, chứ trận này tôi không quan tâm cho lắm. Kết quả trận đấu rõ ràng 2-0 dành cho JDG rồi. Never. Hôm nay mà Sọp thắng JDG với vị trí với trận đấu là 2-1 cũng được. 2-0 thì lại ghê quá. 2-1 cũng được. Để đánh giá xem thực lực chuẩn của tem Sọp. Ít nhất là một cái gì đó cũng có thể là vô địch được ở top 3 để lấy một vé đi chung kết thế giới cũng được. Còn Ngộ Không nó vào thế kia chơi gì nữa. Vâng, một trận đấu 2-0 dành cho Never Give Up à. Chiến thắng 2-0 rất là áp đảo trước Vicky Gaming, đội của huấn luyện viên Cockmore. Và trận tiếp theo sẽ là trận của Suning Gaming gặp JDG, tem của Zagao. Lại là một trận đấu rất là kịch tính. Để đánh giá xem thực lực của Suning Gaming liệu có thật sự là cạnh tranh được những thứ hạng để lấy được vé vào vòng playoff hay không ở trận tiếp theo.
difficult situation when you're Vici, when you do start to fall behind early, and your carries are things like this Misfortune that wants to fight in mid-game. If you're against a team like RNG, or at least Summer RNG by the looks of things, they're not going to ever let you recover from that. And you can see, beyond the 15-minute mark, it was just RNG over there.
And that was the thing. This is where RNG again realizing how do we try and play towards the strengths, understanding the coordination that was going to be needed to make things happen. And Benny, fair play to him. That's a lot of damage to be coming out from him.
And I mean, you got the kills early, right? And when you're an Ezreal, when you go for a rifle, just saying, do a lot of damage. The true shot barrages, especially right, getting them across multiple carries, is such a crucial part of it.
I want to take this right back to I feel like one we got to praise RNG because in spring one of the biggest problems that we saw was that they weren't really giving themselves the opportunity to have these strong games, but definitely being able to read what Vici were going for here, counteract that when it came to the draft and how they played this game. Ezreal, Braves as well meant that they were able to keep the champions that Vici shown so far away, and it meant that when Vici got into the draft phase, they had to try and pivot to find something that they could do, some way of trying to get onto these carries, but the Porky never really worked out because then we had Xiao who answered from Khalid, winning out in the mid lane, and it all really fell apart for Vici. And Mata, when it came to him in Sonoma, I mean, Mata definitely had the upper hand.
Yeah, kind of feels bad for Koma on that one, and Mata, he even bowed deeper as well, so that's 2 points for Mata in the grand well, 3 I guess if you count the 2 wins as points individually, but ultimately RNG overall looking fantastic, feeling fantastic, and I think that's ultimately it. Like, you can have all of your analysis, put that in the corner, because I'm just excited that this team as a whole feels like a team. That was what was missing for me in spring, when you saw them playing together. Felt a little bit solo QS, honestly, in some of the games where they just weren't on the same pages, you know, Langshing stepping out of the team as well now. It feels like maybe some of these players leaving the team is actually time.
Yeah, Anu has stepped in looking absolutely stellar in that top side. A lot of these plays have been set up off the back of him, finding these flanks, finding these opportunities to work within the coordination of RNG. And that is really the part that was missing as well in spring, but just how do they work together? They now turning on a dime. TPs are coming in instantly, reading the map state and understanding exactly how to execute on every single moment. And especially with how quickly we're seeing them in these moments make the call, it's not like you have time to explain to everyone their roles. And we know exactly how we need to play this. We're going to play it to perfection. We're going to catch out all of our opponents.
So far, Vici falling prey to that after OMG did earlier on in the split as well. We'll see who their next target is. I actually don't know who their next game is, but I'm excited to see if this can now be transferred. Because the big question remains, what happens when you're against top esports, when you're against JDG, when you're against even teams like IG, right? IG don't look that great right now, but they are not going to just easily fall behind. If you get a lead against IG, they're not going to stop fighting you. They're not going to stop trying to catch you out. So when you're against teams that are going to pressure you, what do you do?
That's the big question, and ones that we have to try and find out. Unfortunately, when we look towards Vici, we had the question of what are we going to see when they go against these more aggressive teams, and unfortunately, they weren't able to find us.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's your case study right there in front of you. And it's actually a lot of that came down to Shannon. He was the one putting on the pressure. He's going to be our MVP for game 2. And honestly, I'm excited that looking at RNG games we can have Shaolin Bao is our game 2 MVP and Ming is our game 1 MVP.
Especially after the performances in spring. These were the 2 members that really felt that cluster. And now
Còn mẹ nó lại binh bãi rồi.
to be honest, over the past 2 series, he's been up ahead as the MVP for both of them. And now seeing him once again performing the Braves, controlling the pace of that jungle from start to finish, and really not giving forward your likes and looking in that 2v2.
Just during the team fights as well as positioning, it's just been magnificent. But also just reading the enemy jungle, right? Playing so well around flanks.
Yeah, and that was the thing, was how not only Shaolin Bao played, but how he controlled where Ix was going to be able to move. How he was then answering that with the help of Xiaohu and with the rest of the team. This is just what made it so difficult for Vici to never get that early game lead and totally just
So beautifully done from the entire RNG squad. And RNG feel, at least in summer, to be one of these teams where every single game that they win, it feels like you can give the MVP to multiple players because it is very much a team effort, right? very much feels like it's down to how the unit works as a squad. But when we look at Charlotte Bow, when we look at Ming, it's also the vision control that they're saying. When we look at this jungle support duo, the way that they are moving around the map, the next objective, okay, we're both here, we're both clear in vision, and there's nothing you can do.
And that's why it's so painful to play against them, right? It's not only this early to mid, should the cut down, it's when they get to late game. It is so difficult because they suffocate you out. The vision control goes, you can't go into your own jungle. There's multiple members from RNG around every corner, and at that stage you go, no, what the hell do we do here? We can't look at Baron, we haven't been able to get a ward in there in the last 5 minutes, and RNG know this. They know that they're able to either turn very quickly towards it and burst it out, or they make the takes.
RNG overall managing to take this one out in the end. Convincing victory at that 2-0 over Vici Gaming. That means it's time for us to move to a break. But there's another team that's 2-0 right now in the standings, and that's Suning. They finally have their first test ahead of them as they have to go against the spring champions in JDG after the break. Make sure you tune in for that. We'll be back after this.
今日分割战场，另一边小狗从后方切入，这个时候这个太自信了，直接从后面切进，顶着3个人输出，我这个还没有死，还在输出，还没死，我真的没有死。又着了地了，要被秒了，现在这个一方有点尴尬，大王放出来，能不能看到距离？显然能挂死吗？漂亮，最后拿到了黄，但是可能自己也要死。找到了去了，又在选择强行换一下目光，带走，闪现突破，没有做到的断场，出来一口。还在受，有什么5连肉，没有关系，在进场，还有5张机会，快点在那边，三下不光没打出来，最后一下接到了，
看王子怎么选择，想一 Q 被躲掉，没想到一个 W 完被躲掉，逼走了以后呢，就想正面开团，这边打起来，比谁肉谁就比谁大个肉，老鼠被突起来死了，不能先打老鼠啊，没人打老鼠啊，龙也死了，哎，老鼠被秒了，被打15秒了。这就可能站出来了，教练什么叫造？好，现在2个大哥在前面顶着，活着感觉一波出来，一波 kill， 回到收割，继续。开大，人这里反正打漂亮，哇！我的天，这一波又在操作完美。我看这一波确实想进来秒人，但是一个阿布也是秒不掉，一个又在特意被又在直接切死，相互这里大招还差一点点的时间，不过1飞的下来太高了，完成3个 kill， triple kill， 4上 kill， 完成了一波 A。小狗这把有什么看好的？卡米尔有没有大招？卡米尔推进去了，这虚弱没有伤害，直接被小狗给 A 推了。哇，小狗这边在疯狂的 A 人，这个是狗全部残血，大招炸一下，干了2个塔皮的场面，我这边可能没完了，这边感觉小狗要跳起来了，要在第3次跑，好久没看到小胖这样的一个操作了。这边进行抢斯卡都是临死之前秒掉了，又在最后已经有火爆，这波可以打，这个落单了，也不能落单，再下掉这个落有没有机会？有了，还不是直接秒掉，这边打这个给出了闪现，给闪现，小狗哇，小狗的好快呀，小狗跳起来了，又遇到2个人，这里打机会，全队一个上钩，一波阻止3连，
想接盘，但是想的有点多，一剑命中的是小明，是麻辣香锅，把小明炸回来了，但是大招保住了他，冲回去，皇子盖的不错，但这个位置凯南的爱心的输出位置很好，两边一定在疯狂切前排，九组和赵鑫对打，对峙烟道，又在输出非常的高，
一波中路有兵线，我们可以过去，中路队赢了。来，
开到了，然后帮忙把对方的一个输出给顶走，但是点燃看到第一个大招，反是用大招走，于在这边当然的往后面了，于在没有死，哇，接受了，拉到了突破，辅助直接秒掉，又在收割了，杀戮漂亮。
know it's the LPL when the break screen has 6-man rosters on it and they look kind of like small teams here in League of Legends. A 5v5 game. My name is Much Walls. I'm joined by Dagda as we head into our second series of the day. It's Suning against JDG. We finally get to say JDG. We finally get to see the Spring Champ.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what these guys are going to bring to the table, especially after a little bit disappointing MSC. They'll be coming into summer making sure that they're going for that top spot.
Still making semi-finals, so not too bad for themselves, but we'll see how they're going to look coming into spring. But first, let's take a look back at Suning and their most recent series, because Suning so far, they've been on fire.
They really have been, and Suning managing to take down WE, for me, is a strong indication of this team's improvement in the offseason. Their team fighting was on point, their ability to play around the engages of WE was really good, and many of the players that I had doubts about in the spring split, like Bin, really stepped up.
Yeah, they certainly did, and I mean, Sword Art as well, on this Bard, looking fantastic, and Sword Art is definitely a player that has been criticised, especially in spring, for not looking as good as he used to. The Bard, the Thresh, still very much there.
SOFM as well. I didn't have the greatest expectations for him coming into the summer split, but he ended up 12-1 on this Graves. You can see here, managed to pick up a couple kills himself too. This guy was monstrous.
Really struggling to deal with exactly that fact during this fight, but overall, Suning looking fantastic, but looking fantastic as a unit as well. Their team fighting is magnificent. Bin has, I mean, the transformation we've seen in the top lane from Bin is honestly just amazing.
But this is still the same team. This is still the skirmishers. This is still a team that relies heavily on their star players' team performance. How the Ash hours on following them, those clips that were the decider for a lot of those games against WE is to getting back in and making the hits happen to win out that series. So when we look towards this squad, you're still seeing little bits of holes in the armor that could be looked to be.
And if there's a team that's going to exploit holes in the armor, it's JDG. We know them as the smartest team in the LPL. They won spring and they're back to kind of defend their throne here. The champions are here. We finally get to see their debut. They've got a good bit of information on Suning already, who've already played 2 series. But let's take a moment here to look back over the finals and kind of recapture some of the glory we saw from this spring.
Welcome back to our LPL Spring Champions. And after what was a close fought finals, JDG were able to prevail and crown themselves our champions. They've looked absolutely unstoppable with Zoom in the roster, and a win today will mark their 10th LPL series win in a row. And JDG will want to definitely keep that domination rolling to secure themselves a place at Worlds this summer.
My big question is, does the domestic streak count if they lost the MSC semi-finals to another
I said
LPL
LPL.
team?
I said LPL. All right. Look, that's it. We've seen them struggle a little bit at MSC. That's why a lot of the teams were a lot of the players were super disappointed. Nobody now posts on Weibo saying how upset they were that they want to come into summer and look renewed and reborn.
It certainly feels like this team is going to be hungry coming into the split. Let's just remember how close the finals were. I know if you guys watched MSC, it might have like pushed your memory a little bit. This went the full 5 games and it was damn close the entire time.
And I want to take a moment to just look at Lou Mel's Barrett here, because for me this is a guy that has been on JDG since its inception in 2017, massively stepping up to, in my opinion, be the best support in the LPL right now, and has really been at the forefront of this charge towards this Bard support. And I think a lot of that is people watching his highlight reels and going, alright, I need to pick this up.
Yeah, a lot of other players picking up Bard off the back of those finals, and we'll see if that trend will continue. But I just want to kind of point out to everyone here, this final here, this win for JDG wasn't just a matter of one split doing really well. This built up over time. This was a matter of momentum when it came to their road to making it to the final. They got 3rd place back in 2018 summer, then 2nd place in 2019 spring. Fumbled a little bit in the summer there, but then finally in 2020 spring, they managed to become the champions here in the LPL. It's been a long time coming.
It feels like JDG have finally got all the pieces to the puzzle. Loken rejoining the roster, Navi stepping up to be the 3rd carry for this team. It's given this squad a definitive identity which to go around. Everyone has their part to play in the performance. So far, it's been a standing ovation from JDG.
And when we look over towards the roster as well, it is going to be that same old roster. It's going to be the same guys we saw in the finals. When you look through the team here, we've still got Zoom on the top lane, still got Kanavi, the guy that this team was built around. Take a look at their roster as well on the screen. mean, they have one extra player. They do have a sixth player in Peace for the support role. Realistically, the way Lumao's been performing, I don't think you're ever going to sub him out.
Now, 705 even realised that. He peeks down and went towards RNG, because especially with the way JDG has been performing with Zoom in the roster, you're not going to get a look in. And for anyone who didn't see them in spring, this was a team defined by making very few mistakes, incredible macro plays, and finding early game leads through their superstar jungler Tanavi. It felt like maybe an MSC though, that's taken champagne dinners and gone a little bit to their heads, but I think definitely coming into this, they will be looking to back on form and playing just as superb League of Legends is expected.
Few too many steaks, few too many glasses of wine, and unfortunately unable to perform when it came to MSC. I mean, they still made it to semi-finals, and they ended up losing out to top esports, to FBX in the semi-final. Never did get a rematch of the MSC.
We're close, we're close.
But let's talk about Suning as well, because we've spoken a lot now about JDG, and I think a lot of the viewers at home are already going to be pretty familiar with JDG at this point. But Suning so far have looked good. They managed to get a 2-0 win over LNG, who, by the way, yesterday beat FPX somehow. So who knows where LNG stand in the greater picture? I kind of wrote that win off, but now it seems to matter. They also managed to go 2-1 over WE, who made it to 5th place in
Vâng, sò của chúng ta đã cười rồi. Một nụ cười của chiến thắng à? Căng nhá. Lâu lâu xem quả cười này, thế hài vậy lâu. Lồn người đỡ biểu cảm thì mà cái cười cảm giác lạ lạ luôn rồi, đỡ hiểu. Vâng, Di Đồng Gaming, một đội tuyển của 2 người Hàn Quốc ở trong đội hình Suning Gaming, đội tuyển có người Việt Nam thần rừng tên là SOFM. Được vậy rồi. Mở GABS xem nào. Cho sọt chơi trận GABS xem nào. Rồi tại sao mở cho Canavi chơi một trận GABS nữa, xem rằng là đánh GABS hay hơn. Những được tấn khá chi là bình thường. GABS đã pick trong tay của sọt là S1 rồi, rất là nhanh đến từ vị trí của Bin. Anh ta sẽ chơi carry trận này chắc chắn rồi. Với trang bị rất là đơn giản, có thể biết được là lên xong cái trừng phạt chiến binh màu đỏ xong, anh ta sẽ lên giày bạc, diều đen, cái gì nhỉ? Cái là hút máu, cái gì nhỉ? Vũ điệu tử thần. Còn bên Canavi pick cho mình con đi rừng, chưa pick đi rừng à? Pick Zoe cho Zagao. Kassadin sẽ nhắm vào vị trí của Enzo, một người chơi đi mid, được cũng gọi là thần đồng, cứ được người ta nói tên là nhiều thần đồng. Có thể là pick ra xuống, the fuck. Pick vị trí đến con này là Aphelios cho hơi fan này. Những vị trí, những chat rất là thuận tay của bên phía Suning Gaming đã được pick vào, rất là thuận tay nha. Tôi đang hóng xem Canavi sẽ chơi con nào đi rừng để đối đầu với sọt. Một trận rất là gai cấn từ game 1 rồi. TF đã pick và cho Enzo. TF mid à? Đối đầu với Zoe của Zagao. Nhắc lại những lượt cấm thì hai bên đều cấm những vị tướng rất là đơn giản. Như Lê là vị tướng rất là thuận tay của Canavi, và cũng là một vị tướng nếu mà xét về mặt đi rừng, nếu mà được hỗ trợ đồng đội nhiều, hỗ trợ nhiều, áp đảo được lan sớm của sọt thì nguy cơ rừng toang rất là cao, và chỉ cần cắm mắt kiểm soát một chỗ nào đó ăn mục tiêu dễ cực kỳ luôn. Như lên con kiểu dạng như thế rất là máu. Canavi là bây giờ nó đánh dạng kiểu máu chiến á, lên những con như thế nên cấm là hợp lý. Olaf đã được cấm 2 vị tướng đi rừng. Tướng đi rừng có vẻ rất là quan tâm đến Canavi. Chóc đã được cấm. để không cho Bin này. Bin trận này có thể theo tôi đoán sẽ là một là con đi top sẽ là con cá sấu, hai là một con nào nó tăng rồi. Chắc chắn luôn. Tên sọt có vẻ rất là cần tăng. Support của tên sọt chắc chắn sẽ là một con vị trí theo kiểu Kalista. Cá sấu chuẩn bị pick cho Zoom rồi. Cá sấu rất là dễ chơi để áp đảo đường. Liệu Bin sẽ chơi con nào để lấy lại đường với cá sấu đây? Trận 1 mà sao căng thẳng thế nhở? Nhưng bị trướng pick vào khó đoán vãi cả đá. Con gì ấy? Con ban bị trướng tướng mẹ. So what chơi rất là nhiều. Xem anh này, xem ông này liver chơi vị tướng ban này đi chôn rất là nhiều vào đánh danh này, đánh có vẻ rất là nghiêm, và đánh giải có vẻ rất là nghiêm túc nhỉ. Ngộ không, một vị trí cực kỳ mạnh. Nếu mà có đồ solo đường thắng cá sấu là chuyện đơn giản. Mà Bin kiểu Bin mẹ mày thôi, bố mày có đồ giải thích mẹ mày luôn. Thằng này ăn lồn rồi mẹ. Cái con đéo nào bây giờ đây, mẹ nó chơi cận ngộ không của bố bây giờ. G4 dành cho carry. Leadership rất là bình thường và đơn giản. Trận này nếu mà thắng là xét về kỹ năng kiểm soát và kỹ năng người chơi rất là nhiều này. Đoán trận này chắc chắn là như thế luôn. Nhìn thắng chắc ở trận này độ khoảng 45% tỷ thắng sẽ về tem sọt và 50% là do Kavi sẽ kiểm soát như nào để cho lợi thế của tem gì đồng game mình. Chắc chắn luôn Kavi đang đánh thì mẹ lên tay lắm, nguy cơ nó gánh tem cực kỳ cao luôn. EZ bây giờ cũng đang là một con tướng đang rất là to, để ý thì mẹ đi cái đường với con EZ. Tôi chưa đánh danh nhưng mà đã thấy khó chịu vãi cả đái rồi. Bọn tuyển thủ chuyên nghiệp nó bắn ra vì nó là lòi cứt. Với lại một cái lên đầu khá dị ở meta hiện tại đó là vũ điệu tử thần cho EZ, vừa bắn vừa chạy gây một lượng sát thương rất là lớn, đã thay gương môi danh. Trận đấu này đọ về kỹ năng rất là nhiều. Hai tuyển thủ người Hàn ở trong Jido Gaming và một tuyển thủ người Việt ở trong Suning Gaming, đó chính là Sọt, sẽ đối đầu trận này. Enzo hình như là người Hàn, Enzo hình như là người Hàn luôn, hay là người Trung nhỉ? Kệ mẹ, quan tâm là Sọt. Đến đây chỉ để xem Sọt thôi. Trận đấu được bắt đầu. Hai bên đã đi ra đường. Đi mẹ làm còn là đẹp thế. Chất vãi rồi. Quảng cáo thì lại mã ô tô luôn. Căng vãi rồi. Rất bình thường đó. Đang có một pha xâm lăng trong vùng đối phương ở tem Suning. Liệu sẽ đáp trả? Có một pha giao tranh ở ban đầu lúc này không? Sọt đã bị dính bong bóng ngủ, mất một lượng máu khá lớn nên biến về. Sọt có biến về hay không đây? Anh ta quyết định ở lại hay là biến về? Anh ta đã quyết định ở lại để ăn blue, vì con Gravet này đi rừng nó không mất máu nhiều ấy, lên lại cũng là một lựa chọn khá là tốt từ Sọt. Ăn blue xong rồi anh ta sẽ quét 3 mảng ở trên trước, không cần thiết phải ăn bùa đỏ trước được, để lên level 3 sớm nhất có thể. Kèo này mid chỉ cần farm hòa thôi, chắc chắn sẽ không có giao tranh gì nảy ra mid. Quan trọng ở top hai người có một cái sức phải gọi là kỹ năng rất là cao ở đường đơn,
Things considered,
và
where do
Bin
you
và
expect
Zone
the game to
sẽ có
really
đánh nhau ở đây rất là nhiều, tôi đoán là vậy.
because it feels to me like
Canavi
we're going to be waiting a little bit before either
có một
team
đường,
really try and push things.
có một vòng dừng cũng rất là đơn giản thôi,
Pretty heavily.
nhưng mà đã bị lộ tầm nhìn
I
ở
think what Canavi's gonna be looking
của
to
tem
do is,
Suning rồi.
finish off
Thì chúng ta sẽ đi vòng dừng nào đây?
from back up and then head towards
Sọp vẫn đang ăn những bãi rừng đầu tiên của mình,
setup with Zoom. This is a pretty
rồi đến bãi sói
combo where
để lên level 3 nhanh nhất có thể cho mình.
slice and dice into that flag and drag and it look amazing.
Well, before that happens, if he does end up going
Ngộ
to
không nó có đồ bây giờ rất là mạnh,
let everyone know.
đi hòa đường với cái sói là chuyện bình thường.
A subplot that's going on in the LPL.
Một người chơi đánh giá là
Bin, I think
kỹ năng rất là cao
compare this
của
guy
Suning
to
Gaming.
Luke Skywalker. I think that's a pretty obvious comparison. They've both got hair, they both got eyes.
Phong độ hai trận hiện tại của
But
Bin
importantly, Bin has already defeated Morgan. Do you know who Morgan
đang có rất là lợi thế nhiều cho tem Suning vì 2 trận thắng lúc trước,
Okay.
Bin has
để
come
có
in, he's
một
taken
tinh thần thi đấu tốt cho ngày hôm nay
he's taken down the
đối với
offensive
Zeno
now.
Gaming.
He has to go against the Dark Lord himself. He has to
Chúng ta cùng
take
xem trận này.
Darth Sidious. Vader has fallen in the WE series.
Hai bên đều
He
ra
has to take on
đều farm la rất là bình thường thôi, chưa có gì xảy ra cả.
into. You on board?
I'm following, I'm picking up what you're putting down. But I mean, it's not going to be an easy task. Zoom definitely has the heads up advantage in this lane. Have you actually now?
Liệu có tranh chấp,
Very low.
sẽ có một pha nổ ra đánh nhau ở đường này ở con rùa, chắc chắn sẽ có một pha đánh nhau hoặc là một pha cướp con rùa này. Không xảy ra, Sọp đã ăn được, kiểm soát con này, chạy sang vòng rừng kia để ăn, chạy thật nhanh sang vòng rừng bên kia để ăn nốt con cua bên kia để kiểm soát mục tiêu tốt hơn, và có một bãi quái
Maybe Canavi
dành cho
able to
Sọp
pick that
lợi thế hơn.
Unfortunately, because of the low health bar, because he needs to back up, he's now
Thì
going
anh ta sẽ có tổ chức tấn công để sang
to still seeing this clear at the top.
lên top một lần này không?
He's
Người ta
now
biến về để mua đồ rồi.
offside with Zoom.
Phải tôi đánh danh là tôi chạy thẳng đến top được, đánh nhau luôn đấy. Nhưng mà không, họ đang đánh chuyên nghiệp. Suning Bin đang bị đẩy grab về vì cá sấu là một con đè đường rất là cao ở giai đoạn đầu với những tướng đấu sĩ. Bin cần phải phán thuật chuẩn hơn cho những đàn lính đẩy vào trụ để gia tăng chỉ số và không bị cách biệt quá lớn.
And when you're trying to clear out his Jarvan, it's very difficult for you.
Đã dính vào ngủ rồi.
As you said, very
Nửa cây đến từ vị trí của Angel khi bị Zagao combo,
why it's really nice
một kỹ năng định hướng rất là tốt.
right now. Makes it so difficult
Không
for
sao cả.
Canavi to try and match that.
Tới ép lên level 6 và chủ động đi ganh cùng với Sọp.
Bring the ball.
Nếu mà bộ đôi là kết hợp tốt
Unfortunately,
sẽ được pha ganh ở trên top hoặc là bot để lấy được lợi thế. Con rồng nên được ăn, con rồng tôi đoán phút thứ 6 sẽ nổ ra tranh chấp hoặc là một người nào đó sẽ ăn, không thể để lâu hơn được. Rồng này sẽ ăn rất là sớm thôi vì là con rồng gió, chắc chắn sẽ ăn rất là sớm. Sau trong vòng đầu liệu sẽ là một pha cướp rừng hay một pha ganh đây? Canavi đã biến về mua đồ, Sọp sẽ tranh chấp được một bãi sói ở rừng bên đối phương.
This is the power of Braves, but I think coming back to when we're going to see Suning actually have
Rất là tham minh rất là tốt
it's got
từ tem của Suning.
Mark talked about already getting down into this
Canavi đã bị thọt
junction with Sword Art. Let's
gần 20 grab, Sọp đã bị phát hiện ra.
just can't do anything.
Không sao, một pha tranh chấp con cóc đến từ Sọp. Liệu ai sẽ ăn được đây? Sọp đã thành công một pha cướp sói rất là tốt, điểm lợi thế rất là tốt ban đầu cho tem Suning.
And usually we see
Đi về và tổ chức tấn công ở nhà thôi.
help him out, get in, get aggressive.
Sao máu chiến thế nhở?
Miguel is
Về đi bạn.
in his mid lane. There hasn't been
Con rồng này sẽ được ăn từ sớm, tôi đoán chắc chắn là vậy.
his advantage.
Một pha đánh nhau ở trên top, Bin đang đánh vào mặt của Doan đang chạy, Bin đang vả những phát quy và em vào người. Hai bên đã dùng hết kỹ năng nhưng mà có vẻ là Bin đang lỗ hơn thì phải,
But now Zoom can look to heal up off the wave. It's spot on.
lỗ hơn về mana. Cá sấu vẫn có thể ở lại để đè đường và dùng quy để hồi máu cho bản thân mình và những con crab. Sọp đang out chỉ số lính rất là tốt.
Towards that top lane, Angel wants
Enzo đã có một pha đi ganh lên top, liệu có bật giờ lên không đây?
A little bit off and playing very
Một pha
You have to bear in mind as
ping để báo vị trí,
level 6, the Destiny is
liệu có gì xảy ra trên top hay không đây?
probably a quarter of the map, so you do have to walk a good portion of the way
Không.
first. The orbital does land on time.
Không có gì xảy ra cả.
That's a good chunk of damage.
Đã dính bong bóng ngủ,
He's been doing a really good job of landing this
rất là đau.
across the course of this laning phase so far.
As an amount of troops. I mean, look, you've still got an even CS when it comes towards the mid lane. Angel is getting the opportunity to put out the big thing. SOFM, they need a
Cooldown right now.
Son đã có một pha ganh trên top.
Nice little dodge on the stun, but
Nhưng pha này sẽ là
for nothing as Zoom gets away with his life. Collateral damage is available. It does a lot. If Warlock stops Zoom escaping, collateral damage would finish the job, and it will do exactly that. Kanari can do nothing.
There's nothing Kanavi's able to actually achieve there because you want to try and move in to block the auto attacks from the Graves, but if you move in, well, Sword Art has now been set up for success to get the double stun and you possibly give over 2 kills. And why Suning are able to dictate this early pace is again coming back to SOFM and how strong he is on this Graves.
And Zoom really struggling on the Renekton here, as we do see Bin getting some tower plates for himself as well. Kanavi's here to try and contest for this Rift Herald. Sword Art has been here for a while. Lumao has now arrived, and Yagao's here too. Both AD carries still on the bottom side of the map.
No TP for Zoom though, and Bin does have a Cyclone up and available. This is pretty risky for JDG.
They're looking for Yagao. Stun card comes through. The cleanse is the answer immediately. Kanavi desperately wants to steal this one. Zoom's arrived. This could be the team fight. Great Cyclone, though. Denies the engagement. Kanavi still gets the Herald, and Zoom goes in. SOFM over the wall here. Zoom to follow. SOFM desperately trying to escape. Gets underneath the tower, though. True shot. Not enough to finish off Angel. They don't have the minion wave, but Yagao's going to flash on through. Zoom happy to tank, and they get a kill. JDG get the Herald and a bonus.
We talked about Suning wanting to use the Destiny to get advantages, but JDG are the ones with the composition they have that are in the lead right now. And Bin using the Cyclone defensively meant that there wasn't the damage follow-up to try and kill JDG, who, with Lumao roaming up, are able to get the Rift Herald and get that big advantage.
And I think as well, Suning
Wait,
quickly
did nobody
realized.
pick it up? Sorry, go on ahead. I'm not
I
sure if
mean,
anyone
well-
picked up the Rift Herald, but here we go anyway. I mean, look, Angel isn't going to be able to do particularly much, very low on mana. Does get the stun onto Zoom, but it's so difficult for this Twisted Fate to enter the fight because you've got Kanavi who's trying to jump onto him. He's got to avoid bubbles from Yagao, and when you've already got one person who can't really get into these fights, SOFM, again, short range, really struggles against the Renekton and the
Yeah.
Jarvan. It's a lot easier.
Nobody got the Herald. Kanavi didn't actually
Yeah.
do anything in that dive. I feel like Kanavi is just not having a good game right now. Even though he got the smite there, maybe he didn't realize he had actually won the smite fight or something. I'm not sure. JDG feeling a little bit disjointed in this one.
I'm getting MSC vibes as well because JDG didn't pick it up in MSC either. But still, they stopped the play from Suning, and right now what they're trying to do is at least put a plaster over this jungle matchup, and not having that Rift Herald go over will help out quite a bit in JDG, and making sure that Suning aren't getting to the point where they can outscale them too quickly before the 2 items for Yagao and Loki can hit.
I love how Sword Art is just going full Bard as well, by the way. Like, he's basically not visited bot lane for the last 20 minutes or so when we're only 10 minutes into the game. He's been absolutely everywhere on the map so far. But it is JDG who won out the fight in the end, and you can see on the replay,
Yeah.
everyone left the Herald. They all went to go for the fight. Kanavi could have just stepped on over, but unfortunate situation for them.
Look, I understand. Kanavi has been put behind all game, has been pressured by SOFM, and finally gets some action where he's actually winning, and you just get that bloodlust. You know, you get that moment of revenge, and you end up missing out on what the strategic play actually is.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure that that's a good reason to not go for the Herald, especially if you're the spring
I never said it was a
champions.
good reason.
I don't know.
I just said
Here's-
it's a reason.
Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. We talk about JDG as the smartest team in the LPL. Not picking up the Herald that you won when no one's contesting it ain't the smartest play.
That is fair. I can't argue with that logic. However, JDG are going to start trying to rack up a few of these dragons, make up for that misplay around the other objective. And with this play for SOFM being towards the top side of the map, I think we'll just see the same play as what we saw from Orangey. Just clear the top side. Don't even try and contest for this dragon.
Bin is 10 CS up, and he has already taken 3 turret plates. That's without a Herald, by the way, because the Herald didn't exist. So Bin is just miles ahead of Zoom in these top lanes somehow. Let's bear in mind, all through spring, Zoom was touted as the best top laner in the LPL.
Zoom.
Zoom was, sorry, yeah. Bin is now contesting for that. And he's on Suning. Bin, in spring, everyone was saying he was terrible.
Well, everyone does cheer for the Rebels, and it looks like we're trying to see if Bin can make that play against Emperor Palpatine in Zoom. And so far, been looking good, especially in a matchup where Zoom should be winning. This has been doing a lot of work, and now getting to the point, especially when he starts to get towards the likes of that Triforce, that he will outscale Zoom, and it's not like JDG can play particularly heavily around this Renekton pick anymore.
Zoom going to be struggling here. And that's one of the issues, right? Emperor Palpatine, the reason he was so successful is he manipulated everyone around him. He got everyone around him to help him out. That's not really been happening in the top lane. Zoom's been all on his own.
Yeah, look, I'm real sorry. I actually did prep for this match and not watching the Star Wars movie, so I'm a little bit behind on how I can follow up on this banter, to be honest.
I mean, to be fair, it's been a while since I watched him, but I watched him so many times that it's, you know,
It's ingrained.
it's part of who I am now. I'm just trying to figure out who Anakin is in all of this. Oh, wait, that was Morgan.
Yeah.
Anakin is Vader.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'll take it
Spoiler
all back.
alert. God.
I mean, if you've not watched Star Wars,
God.
like, I mean,
Go
if
watch
you've not
it.
watched Star Wars, first off, you're a zoomer, and second off, like, you probably have not made it through your entire life without seeing any spoilers anyway.
Fair. Either way, though, Suning still trying to put the pressure down here. Angel hasn't quite been able to get the impact we were hoping for from this Twisted Fate, but definitely we'll start to see it now more so as this game goes on. I didn't quite get to look at what he's running as a secondary tree. Could just go for this Demolish, you know, the bone plating Demolish build, going for the Resolve, and
Oh, Angel's in trouble. They're going to make a play in the mid lane. There's nothing you can do to get away from that one. Oh, well, I guess we found their win condition, right? Just jump on in with a Yumi. Oh, SOFM could be in trouble here because Yagao doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon. Paddlestar, ooh, if that trouble bubble had landed, it could have been a nightmare.
Dragon will now be picked up by JDG here as well off the back of that play. And we did find out that Angel is not running that Resolve tree as secondary because the bone plating didn't proc. So it won't be this split push Demolish Twisted Fate we're looking at. Instead, Angel will be looking to get into these fights just like this.
SOFM's in trying to get the smite fight, but he smited way too early on that one, and it means now the team fight going the way of JDG so far, but the Cyclone might just turn things around. Bin looking to be the impact player right now. Kanavi flashes out of the pit, but in comes Angel to answer for the gank in the mid lane. Has to go golden immediately, and now can look for a stun card. Zoom escaping though. It's going to be the Tempered Fate. Zoom left on his own and will be cut on down by SOFM.
And that was a fantastic play by Suning. JDG want to try and use that range advantage that they have in Yagao and Loken, but if they're all boiled down in the pit, it makes it so much easier for Suning to get on top of them, give access for Huanfeng and SOFM, and Angel coming in perfectly with those gold cards to set up alongside Bin.
And now we're going to see Suning. They're the ones that are going to be able to go for this Herald off the back of this fight. They know there's no contest available from JDG, and they're even, look at that, they picked it up. They're actually going to use the Herald. This is genius League of Legends in front
We
of
don't
us.
know if they're going to use the Herald. It could
Okay,
still
true,
accidentally time
true.
out, but it's a step in the right direction, and that is exactly what we're seeing from Suning coming into this, because if you look at them in spring, Suning wouldn't have contested JDG at all. They would have just fallen behind when it came to the early game. JDG would have dictated the pace from start to finish, but Suning are coming out with SOFM looking fantastic on this. Graves getting control of the game, Bin beating out Zoom in this top lane as well. Suning are looking incredible coming into summer.
I don't know what happened to Bin during the off-season. I don't know what kind of supplements he's taken, honestly, because
He's
the
been
guy,
recycled.
he's changed every... Yeah, he's been recycled. That took me a few seconds to get that one, but that's hilarious. He looks like a completely different top laner, and he is dominating right now on this Wukong. And the Wukong pick has been really the key to all of this success. He's looked great on the Renekton, looked pretty good on the Aatrox as well, but ultimately, this Wukong is where he's really impressed me.
And the beauty of Suning, if they can keep this advantage rolling for themselves, the 2,000 gold lead they picked up, well, that's where you can have Angel push in this bottom side of the map. You can have Bin control this side wave in the top as well, and try to make plays then with the Destiny, with the teleports. It becomes so much easier for Suning to enact their own game plan onto the JDG line.
Bloom's just going to be taken here by Yagao. So now we have to see what JDG wants to try and do next. Where are they going to try and make things happen? Because we did see the one play in the mid lane where Kanavi just blasts in onto Angel with Lumao on his shoulder, with Yagao there to follow up as well. But it feels like that situation where you catch one person out isn't going to happen that often.
Well, might be catching one person out now as I'm watching Sword Art trying to sneak in towards this top side onto Zoom.
Zoom does have his dominance though. This is not the easiest target to assassinate, that's for sure. Although you can just remove the tower from the equation. This is a Bard, let's remember.
The big thing here, though, is that Suning are getting control of this topside jungle.
They did it!
They've done it!
They've dropped the Herald! For the first time this game, we actually see a Rift Herald used.
The big thing here, though, is Suning aren't using the Destiny advantage to try and keep pressure on this bottom side while this play happens. So it will be the turret answered on the bottom side while they're going for this play in mid.
It is still going to be the turret advantage in favor of Suning. When you're the first ones to take the turret, you do still get to kind of trade evenly when it comes to towers, and you still end up ahead because you can finish off the third tower as they're going to be taking the second one. We'll see if that will be the case, assuming they've only got one remaining. It's down in this bottom lane.
Angel looking to opt towards that Lichbane build as well. Has got the Aether Wisp in his pocket, so it means he'll be trying to work his way through these towers and have a bit more oomph in his auto attacks when it comes to these team fights. But Suning so far looking really good in this game, especially when it comes to keeping the pressure up on JDG. Getting down this mid lane turret makes it easier for them to take the bottom lane turret. Getting this vision so then Bin can play aggressive on the top side of the map. It's really strong play from Suning.
Fantastic stuff. And the only slight issue that they've had so far is Angel in this mid lane, right? He's 0-2 right now on the Twisted Fate, but ultimately, when you pick Twisted Fate, you're not picking it for lane strength, and it is one of these champions that when your summoners are on cooldown, you're going to be punished, especially by a Jarvan. That's exactly what we've seen.
Does have the Unsealed Spellbook, though, to help with that a little bit in trying to keep himself safe, and especially on these bottom, now that he's opting in towards the split push, he doesn't have to worry as much about Kanavi coming down to visit him, because in theory the rest of Suning will be putting pressure elsewhere and Kanavi will be stuck dealing with that instead.
I love how Zoom went in full autopilot there. He actually pathed around from the trouble bubble, even though it was Yagao's trouble bubble, but it's just like ingrained in the way that you play. You do not step on the trouble bubble. Here we go, Dragon now going to be started by JDG. Sword Art is here, but realistically, there's no contest.
They don't want to.
Well,
Suning are looking to scale still.
Look at the top lane.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you've got Bin that's up here working around the turret, but think about it. You want this Aphelios to get towards his double Zeal item, and you want to wait until Graves has the... Well, he's actually going for the lethality build, so you're fine to just hang on and wait for Bin to outscale on the side, have your Aphelios ready come online, and then fight for this third dragon instead.
Oh, here we go. SOFM has made his way onto Yagao. Kanavi tries to get a knockup, won't actually find it. Tempered Fate goes wide though as well. Kanavi has to back away. Angel's in trouble, but here comes Bin from the back line. Kanavi using a stopwatch knockup onto everyone, and down goes the jungler. Zoom trying to make his way into the fight, but he's too late to the party and has to back away. Fantastic stuff from Suning.
Great pick from Suning. Don't get the dragon, but they get the tower. They're getting the kills. They're getting more gold funneled into their team, and that's all they want to do right now. So Suning looking absolutely splendid, whereas JDG have looked completely out of sorts in this game.
And you know what? It was Luke Skywalker that was leading the Rebels back in Revenge of the Jedi. Revenge of the Jedi? Return of the Jedi. And it's going to be Bin in this team fight as well that manages to turn things around for them.
And look, it doesn't really matter that the ultimate from Sword Art missed, because Bin has got the perfect positioning, knowing that he's coming in completely unspotted, because earlier on, Sword Art had moved in, he got the vision control on that top side, nobody had visited there from JDG, so Bin gets the perfect spot, gets the pick, and now you're starting to see, as we said, those items starting to come through, and JDG, when we look at the way they were successful in Spring, was through dominant top, a dominant mid pick, and supporting Kanavi in any sort of endeavor he went to. This time around, they're not able to support him as well.
And, well, someone else that's not getting support right now is Zoom in the top lane, and it's actually going to be Sword Art zooming with the Shirelias, and he'll grab himself a kill as well. Bin has moved down to the bottom side of the map, where he's just going to continue to push all day long.
And he's able to just keep going because, well, Zoom's dead. You now are going to spot the rest of JDG all huddled together underneath this mid wave, which means that bottom turret is now going to go towards Suning as well. And this 4k gold lead is very quickly starting to get out of hand.
And look at the CS differences across the map right here. Generally speaking, in the side lanes, it's about even. But when you come to that jungle matchup, it's well and truly in favor of SOFM. He's 2-0-2 with a 50 CS lead as well. He is massive in the jungle. The tier 1 has finally gone down in the bottom lane as well. And Dagda, we're watching the Spring Champions right now be thoroughly dismantled by Suning.
I don't know what to tell you. This is Suning looking really damn good. And it comes back to SOFM stepping up on this Graves pick. One of the members that when I looked at Suning, I have big question marks for, because SOFM, when he was on the likes of Sejuani's and Jarvan's, wasn't quite able to find the engages that I really needed him to do. Didn't have the confidence to go for those plays and allow Huanfeng and Angel to be the carries for this roster. Now that he's moving over towards these more carry-orientated junglers and Bin is taking on the mantle alongside Sword Art Engage, they look far better.
Trouble Bubble just about goes wide, but that was a little bit close for SOFM. Baron is on the map, and let's bear in mind, there's an Aphelios on the side of Suning. They can rush this if they really want to. They're 5,000 gold up as well.
They don't need to. You got Twisted Fate free pushing in the top lane. Bin has now outscaled the Renekton in the bottom side of the map as well, so you've got a winning bot side matchup. So overall, I mean, look at the confidence from SOFM. He's just walking straight into Kanavi saying, do something.
Kanavi's red buff. Kanavi actually had to smite that one away at the end, but literally walked up. Kanavi is right there, ignores him completely. He's like, I'm going to take this red buff right in front of you.
That's the bold move. That's the confidence play. And you just got to love the arrogance, because Kanavi knows he can't do very much. Manages to get the smite. But still, it's Suning taking over the jungle, taking over this game. And JDG struggling to find any sort of answer.
Honestly, if you told me back in spring or back in finals that Kanavi, in his first series of summer, wouldn't be able to do anything on the map, I'd have called you a nutter. But that is exactly what we're seeing here. And SOFM, not the player that I was expecting to be the one to challenge Kanavi in this way and to force him out of his own jungle.
I mean, I don't know. SOFM coming across from LNG, LNG stepping up, now SOFM is stepping up. Every team is stepping up. Ooh. And Loken now forced the flash.
That was real close from the Tempered Fate there. Nicely done by Sword Art to force the flash. Dragging up in 5 seconds here, and Suning have decided, now that this is an objective that they want to contest for, they want to be a part of this one. You see Angel up in the top side of the map right now. He's going to have that Destiny available. Kanavi knows that he has to contest for this one, but Bin is here with the Cyclone available. Teleport now from Zoom. They might actually be able to pull this one off. SOFM gets the smite, though, before the fight kicks off, and now Kanavi is low. Everybody here from Suning collapsing. They're desperately trying to get onto Loken, onto Kanavi. The health bars so low, but Zoom tanking up a lot of this damage.
JDG are on the wrong side of the map, though. Now Suning can either just go towards mid, catch JDG completely unawares, or collapse on them.
We'll see what the option is going to be here. Bin doesn't have the Cyclone, but he's still in that flanking position right now. Damage going through on both sides right here. Huanfeng desperate to do something. Bin goes in. He doesn't have Cyclone. Forced to flash now. Might have made a mistake on the back of this one. SOFM tries to follow up, but it's just going to be a kill for JDG. Now the damage continuing from Huanfeng. He flashes on forwards. He's 1v3 right now, and he just doesn't have the damage. Zoom shuts him down. Sword Art tries to escape, and now Angel just about gets away as well. JDG turning this game on its head. Sword Art desperately running away, but now he's the one on the wrong side of the map. Sword Art's going to go down, and JDG find themselves the fight.
It's a disaster from Suning. Rather than taking the bird in the bush, pushing up mid lane, starting to put pressure onto this tier 2 tower, they get greedy. They try to finish off JDG so they can turn towards the Baron, but it all goes disastrously. Bin dying, so I mean, like, he's got no ultimate. I don't know what he expects here.
I don't know why. I just don't know. He went in 1v4, and that's that. And then Huanfeng is like, oh, we go in 1v4? Hey, I can do that. Yeah. Goes in 1v4.
And especially when Huanfeng misses that Moonlight Vigil at the start of that, well, I say the start of that, but partway through that fight, meant there was so little damage left on the Suning roster. Maybe if that Moonlight Vigil does land, you've got all the damage with the Infernum spreading throughout everyone, and maybe, just maybe, you can make that play work. But flashing in aggressively, now you've down all your summoner spells on the Aphelios. Sword Art doesn't have anything either. This JDG play becomes so much more potent, where maybe they can find these big engages onto the carries of Sunni.
I'm going to chalk this one down to giddiness from Sunni, because right now they're up against the Spring Champs, and I think they may be bit off a little more than they could shoot. They thought that they could push their advantage even further. Doesn't work out, but they are still in the lead right now. Unfortunately for them, though, that is a big gold swing in favor of JDG.
It is, but Sunni's still outscaled. Look, Bin is going to control this side lane. You're going to have Huanfeng who will outscale Loken as well. SOFM is going to beat out Kanavi, so it's not the end of the world. It's just going to put a little bit of a bump in the road for Sunni, as long as they don't continue to make mistakes like this.
It's going to be Bin recalling there. As soon as the vision is lost on the rest of JDG, these side laners from Suning have to be careful. They have to respect the fact that the collapse could come on through from anyone on JDG. Try and punish them for overextending. But they pretty much have to focus on Bin in that scenario, because if you try and go on Angel, he's just going to use that Destiny and escape.
Yeah, and that's the big issue. Sunni now looking confident in these side lanes. This is the way I imagine that they're going to keep playing this, is pushing in waves, slowly getting the vision control in their favor, and then having Sword Art kind of play this in-between role where he can teeter between the top and the bottom side of the map, keep people safe, or even set up for plays with that Temper Fate.
I'm curious if we do see trying to set up for plays with the Tempered Fate here, whether we do see Suning pushing their front foot forward, or whether we just see them continuing this kind of 1-3-1 style and just trying to win via map control rather than actually forcing a fight onto JDG.
Well, that's the thing. It's more about Sword Art being that extra man. It's a way you can play a lot of... it's a way actually it used to be played for like the likes of Rengar and stuff, but it's more important here for the Bard just to play off to the side lane, so then you can throw down these Tempered Fates, keep people in check. So say you have Kanavi and Zoom suddenly jumping on towards Bin, but now you got a Tempered Fate to pick off one, possibly two of them, give time for Bin to escape, or give time for Bin to just take the 1v2. Like, he's very strong right now with that dead stance completed.
Oh, he's real strong. Tempered Fate onto Kanavi here. Lumao knows what's going on because he's dipped off of the Jarvan. Kanavi is real tanky, though. That's going to be a Cataclysm coming on in. There's no follow-up, though. Lumao barely gets away with his own life. With the jungler down, Bin now can freely pressure in the bottom lane, and they can threaten Baron.
They don't need to. Bin's threatening the bot side. All they need to do is step away from JDG here.
Whew. Oh, that trouble bubble. It lands onto Huanfeng, but there's no follow-up. Loken's in trouble, though. Cyclone comes on through, and another knock-up will be available in just a moment. Loken has so many flashes, so many jumps. He manages to get away with his life, and he turns it around. Yagao the one to get the kill onto Bin. And now they try and follow up. They try and find more. This is the game plan now for JDG. Chase down and shut down Angel the target. He's got his gold card procced, but he runs out at the worst possible moment, and Loken finds another. SOFM does get the dragon in the end. It was Huanfeng to finish it off, but now the pings go down to Baron.
But this is disastrous from Suning. They haven't realized that they don't need to kill JDG to beat JDG. It's all about getting these turrets down, getting more pressure on the map, and unfortunately trying to get onto Loken with the disengage from the Yuumi, with the heals from Yuumi, as well as the flashes, dashes, everything from Loken, means they can't go get the kill, overextend, and give JDG the Baron.
This is going to be Baron going their way. And the big question will be, what can they do with it? But also, when you look at the gold right now, that Baron has evened things up. We're dead even on the scoreboard. And suddenly these Infernal Drakes become a much bigger deal.
And it's heartbreaking for Suning because they look so good to begin with, but not just realizing we can finish out this game by just playing through side lanes, not needing to fight, not needing to toss the coin in the air and figure out which way it's going to land. And JDG have been playing these fights very well, which is giving them the opportunity to come back.
I have to criticize Angel a little bit here as well in this game. 0-3-4 on the Twisted Fate. Didn't have a fun time of it during the laning phase, and I was willing to chalk that up to, you know, Twisted Fate, not the strongest laner in the world. It did get ganked quite a lot when his flash was on cooldown. But now that we're getting to the point in the game where Twisted Fate is meant to be at his strongest, he's struggling to have an impact.
I think that's mostly from the calls from Suning, though. I mean, you just want Twisted Fate off in the side lane, or maybe if you can make these fights work, but every fight has gone in favor of JDG, and now SOFM
needs to use this quick draw effectively if Kanavi does commit. SOFM is not afraid of Kanavi this game. Every single time. Oh, it is Kanavi that gets the red buff there, but every single time they meet, SOFM steps forward instead of back.
Bin should not be backing right now. he can still put pressure here. They've eyes on every member of JDG, and look how low that top lane inhibitor turret is.
Yeah, he doesn't have teleport, and I think he's basically just saying, look, I need to be here for the fight, deciding that the fight is more important than the inhibitor.
Well, they're not going to be able to hold on to this turret anyway, so it's JDG now picking up the turrets for free. You do have SOFM in a decent position to try and get this flank off, but here we go.
Cyclone comes on in Loken over the wall, though. They can't really fully commit to this fight. Now the Cataclysm goes in. Angel's caught out once again. And Zoom is just invincible. Cuts them down, and Huanfeng trying to escape. Suning, it looked so good at the start of the game. It looked like this was the game for them. But now they're just being chased down and torn apart by the side of JDG. JDG have found their groove once again, and into the mid lane they go.
And they'll be able to finish off the game off of this, what was looking like a definite Suning victory. JDG managed to snap back from the jaws of defeat, and will find victory in game 1.
Phenomenal stuff coming out from JDG, and you know, this is why they won the spring finals. This is why these guys are the best team in the LPL. Damage out of Huanfeng, it's not quite enough. Good effort from him, but ultimately 13-5. And a win from JDG after being so far behind the entire game.
And I was wondering what way this game was going to go. Was it going to be an LNG victory like we saw from FPX? Or was it going to be Rogue Warriors versus Top Esports? And unfortunately, it was the latter that we got in this game. I don't understand though. Suning, they got ahead. They had the comp that should have been able to play towards side lanes, outscale and win in that respect. But they decided not to play towards that. Instead, looking for these fights over and over, giving JDG the option to fight against them, get picks, find everything that JDG wanted.
And depressingly, I feel like I have to criticize Bin here, because as you rightly say, had an opportunity to try and force the inhibitor in the top lane, try and force some kind of trade there. There was a couple of times where he recalled, I feel like a little too safely in the bottom side of the map as well, when there was potential JDG could collapse to him. And obviously, we have the vision of both teams, right? We could see what's happening, but nobody was really moving over to it.
Well, the thing was, like, you've great wave clear on Suning's side between the Graves and between that Aphelios as well. So it's not like you're, and even the Twisted Fate, it's not like you're struggling to try and clear these waves. So if you start to end up in this siege scenario against JDG, you just keep clearing waves and they're going to be forced to deal with Bin eventually. But yeah. Bin doesn't call the bluff. He backs away, gives JDG the opportunity, and unfortunately, what was a Suning game to throw, they threw.
And it's frustrating.